Welcome to episode 8 of the Allie-RX Show, starring yours truly. And welcome to the season finale of the Allie-RX Show, as well as the final episode of Retro Month. Data East was a game company that made tons of arcade classics in the 80s and 90s. And one of those games was Bad Dudes vs. Dragon Ninja, or simply Dragon Ninja in Japan. It's about two tough guys saving the US president from an army of ninjas and mercenaries. This was a game that I loved playing when I was a kid, but it wasn't the arcade version that I grew up playing with. It was actually another version, but I'll let you know later on in the review. So how's Bad Dudes vs. Dragon Ninja? Let's find out.
Yeah, if you can't tell already, Bad Dudes has a really cheesy story. You start off with a soldier guy telling you that the president was kidnapped by the evil organization known as Dragon Ninja, and it's up to two guys to save them. It's like Bizarro Ninja Gaiden, but I guess these two guys are bad enough to defeat the entire clan of ninjas, samurais, and whatnot. Whatever, let's get on with the gameplay. Bad Dudes vs. Dragon Ninja is your typical arcade side-scrolling beat-em-up. You just walk straight, fight an army of ninjas, and fight the boss in all 7 stages. You have 2 types of special attacks: the spinning kick and the fire punch, which I highly recommend using. To do the spinning kick, press the jump button, the attack button, and the direction you want to go simultaneously. To do a fire punch, hold the attack button and let go as soon as the enemy comes close to you. I strongly suggest using the spinning attack when there's a lot of ninjas ganging up on you all at once, and the fire punch when 1 or 2 ninjas are coming right at you. There are 2 weapons you can use: the dagger and the nunchucks, which is the better weapon of the 2, obviously because of the long range. And unlike other contemporary beat-em-ups where you can walk around freely, all you can do here is walk left or right and jump up or down to walk on a lower or higher area. While Bad Dudes vs. Dragon Ninja is nowhere near as good as other beat-em-ups I've played in my day, it's still fairly enjoyable, and I personally have a soft spot for this game. Don't expect this to be on par with the likes of Double Dragon or Ninja Gaiden. It's a fun 2-player co-op beat-em-up where you just want to play an entire game quickly at an arcade place with a friend. The bosses in this game for the most part are fairly easy. Bosses 1, 4, and even the final boss walk pretty slow and can be defeated using frequent spinning attacks or fire punches. The third boss is pretty much the same as the regular ninjas, only they all gang up at you at once. Thankfully, you can just spin kick all the fake ones and fire punch the real one. The ones that were difficult for me were bosses 5 and 6, as they had a grappling hook and bow respectively. And speaking of bosses, here's an interesting trivia. The first boss in this game is based on Data East's mascot, Karnov, who had his own game and made a cameo appearance in other Data East games. And another trivia in this game is that the president Ronnie is based on Ronald Reagan, who was president during the mid-80s. Hell, he even looks like him in the game's ending. The graphics are very good for a 16-bit arcade game. A lot of work went into the backgrounds in the game, and I love the work they did on the 2nd and 5th stages with the moving truck and train. The music is great, however, compared to other versions of Bad Dudes I played, this does not have the best version of the soundtrack, and I'll let you know later. They even included some voiceover effects in this game. The most notable one is the "I'm bad" voice at the end of each stage, which sounds like a teenage Mike Tyson. I'm bad! Now, there are many home versions of Bad Dudes vs. Dragon Ninja on systems like the Commodore 64, the ZX Spectrum, and even a DOS version. But the port I grew up playing was the NES version. Now, comparing both the arcade and NES version, the difference is night and day. And not in a good way. Now, I didn't expect this version to be as good as the arcade version because it's obviously 8-bit. But it's different in many ways, and not just in graphics and sound. In the arcade version, the ninjas would attack you at a normal pace and some would attack you from hiding in certain spots. In the NES version, however, all they do is charge at you, and you can just fire punch all of them at once. Plus, the already easy bosses from the arcade version are even easier. Karnov and the 4 stage bosses can be beaten in a matter of seconds. Not only that, but the 3rd stage boss is watered down compared to the original arcade version. In the arcade version, all the fake ninjas would attack you at once. In the NES version, only 2 at a time come at you until the real green ninja is left. On top of all that, your character walks a lot slower than in the arcade version. And if you want to play 2-player, there is no co-op. All you can do is take turns, which is pretty lame. I could go on and on, like the flickering that happens sometimes, the glitches that happen, and other stuff. But the problems I mentioned before are the big ones. I will say this, however, the music, at least in my opinion, is better here than in the arcade version. It sounds more dynamic, especially the one used for levels 2 and 5. Here, have a listen. Plus the "I'm bad" voice sounds like Christian Bale's Batman, deeper and more raspy. I guess that makes his voice sound more bad than before. Here, let's have a comparison.
I'm bad! I'm bad! I'm bad! I'm bad!
All in all, Bad Dudes vs. Dragon Ninja is a solid beat 'em up for its time. Do I recommend it? No, but at the same time, you shouldn't avoid it. Check it out for yourself to see if you like it. If you have a Wii or a Wii U, you can always play Data East Arcade Classic, which includes Bad Dudes vs. Dragon Ninja. As for the NES version, it's an inferior port, but not a terrible one. It's still somewhat enjoyable, and I go back to this version from time to time. I give Bad Dudes vs. Dragon Ninja a silver. And I give Bad Dudes for the NES a bronze.
So that concludes Retro Month as well as Season 1 of the Allie-RX Show. Next month, Season 2 of the Allie-RX Show will begin. It will have a brand new look, but at the same time, it will have the same reviewing style you've all grown to love. Why a new look, you ask? Well, let's just say that this camo look has run its course, and it's time to take this series to a whole new level. Stay tuned!